Yeah. Beat drop slow, head not flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, ghost in the chain. Locked in the game, never move for fame. Old mountain lines run deep in the flame. Sock about the fire, Michonne brought the name. Then came Fat Boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but our bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, ran it straight through the rain. Red ninja close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sock it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second was the flame, Michonne lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.
Yeah, man. You got Elevated in the building today, man.
Yep.
Elevated got something special for y'all today, man. I'm be in the background where they kicking, man. What's going down?
Just chilling. So, one thing I'm gonna talk about when I jump on first. So, um, chain setups, right? So, all my dogs are. Here's the truth about chains, really. So, all my dogs, I had, I had half and half for about 5 years. So I had about 10 chain setups. Oh, it's right here. I had about 10 chain setups and 10 kennels, and I had a half and half for a good while, and I never had any problems out of my chain setups ever. The only thing I had a problem out of was my kennels, and they were good kennels and everything. That's just where I saw the issues. You know what I mean? That's where I saw the most where human error could be affected. Yeah, that's right, the right one. So that's where human error could be taken in and all that shit. So I had them dig out from under them. Even I put stones around the edges. I had them dig out. Uh, I had them pry the door open and come out. All this stuff. So I fixed all the kennels back to brand new, and I sold them all. About when do you think I sold my kennels? About 2 months ago, yeah. So I sold all my kennels, and every dog I got up here was on chain setups. So I got little Brick, and he's about 14 weeks old or something. He's been on a chain setup for about 2-3 weeks. Uh, Loretta was on one. She's in a kennel right now. The only dog that's in a kennel is Vixen that has her puppies, and Loretta. They're the only two in kennels right now. The rest, and one of the kennels is a high kennel that me and my stepdad built, and it's got hog wire so dogs can't get out. It has a barrel screwed straight to it. There's really no. It's got tin that goes all the way around it, about 3 feet high. So like, there's really no way dogs can get out of it. Uh, I built it custom, 100%. I drew it, and then me and my stepdad built it. Uh, Then I have a retriever kennel with paving stones in the floor, so they can't get out of it either. And I redid the latch, so it's not the factory. I took the retriever latch off and put a good latch on it, two of them, so dogs can't get out that way. And since I've done that, I have not had a single dog get loose and had no issues. Uh, I'm 100% convinced that like this breed of dogs and hound dogs deserves to live their lives on chains. It's the safest for them. It's really calming. They're not as hyped up and crazy if they spend most of their time on a chain. uh these little pups I have right here, they'll go on a chain when they're about, I don't know, 10 weeks old, 12 weeks old. They'll go on a chain at that point, and then they'll be on a chain for the rest of their life. That's just my preferred way to handle them and keep them. I can work a lot of the dogs while they're on the chains, you know what I mean? Like I can just go through and work them with a flirt pole, and working them all together, i get um I get a really high number of young dogs willing to work even the jolly ball. Even though it's so much bigger than them, they'll still do it because they see the other dogs do it at that young of an age. Uh, so I'm a big believer that like overall health, if you can give a dog a nice chain setup, or I mean even a good kennel like a retriever kennel, like the appropriate one, like where. And I'm not an advocate for the retriever kennels, but they are pretty safe. Yeah, that was a long time ago. So that they are pretty safe, and especially if they have a roof. I'm about to build a tin roof for my retriever kennel, and then it'll be fully set up. So I think that'll be the best bet. So so damn, that's just one of my opinion. Like I've seen, like I can split them up and they can have their own individual areas. It's safer at a younger age. Like they don't never hurt each other. They don't never, I don't know, bully one over the other. I don't have a lot of that, deal with a lot of that because I just separate them at a young age. So that's one thing that is very important about this breed of dog. They need to be kept appropriately. Like when people gets dogs from me, and this is the reason I say this. When people gets dogs from me, if you tell me you're going to keep it in the house, depending on who you are, I might not sell it to you. You know what I mean? Like I would prefer for my dogs to be kept outside the same way I do. You know what I mean? Like that's just the most consistent. You can't have trouble out of it. That's the one thing I am very picky about. And like certain people will hit me up and they'll tell me their circumstances, and I'm like, nah, you can have an inside dog. But there's certain circumstances that I won't allow. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna have it around a kid a bunch, I just don't allow it because I don't want me doing everything correctly and then sell a dog to somebody and that dog they're not doing stuff correctly and then that dog bite that kid. So that's one thing I don't want to happen. You know what I mean? I don't want them to set it up and then it look like my dog's fault, even though it was their handling that made the dog react that way. So that's one reason I bring that up. I've not had anybody say they wanted to keep them inside actually, since they've hit me up. Let's go here. Since people's hit me up about dropping deposits and stuff, that nobody said they were wanting. They all want to keep them outside, and I'm like, well, that's awesome. That can get you the most consistent result from me by far. I will say that. All my dogs have concrete water bowls and concrete food bowls. That's another thing, and they have blue barrels. So like some of them do mess with their barrels, but not like to where they destroy it and can't sleep in it. They'll just like chew on the outer edge a little bit and stuff. And that's really the only problem I deal with as far as that goes. I don't have no dogs that pull chains, that tug of war with their chain. I've not seen that ever out of these dogs. Uh, I've not even seen a lot of fence biters really, and I had a lot of kennels, and would alternate them and stuff. But I've not even seen a lot of fence biters. Most of mine are diggers. That's one thing about it. So this family of dogs, they've been very consistent. Like even my cousin here, he can vouch for that. Like as far as the way they act, the way they even the dogs today versus the dogs we had back then, they're very similar. Like very similar. Tempered and everything. Yeah, as far as the way they act, you have to get a little closer. As far as the way they act, they're like they're very similar. The females are still pretty buck wild. The males are always laid back, do whatever you want them to do. That just seems to be a pattern with these dogs.
That's cool. But yeah, there's
Yep. So like when with breeding for consistency, even though say my mom did it, my dad did it, they did it separately. Then I've taken over and I do it a little different than both of them. Even though that is the case, because they're raised outside, I've not seen a whole lot of changes. Now, like if I take one and raise it inside, I could make it be whatever I wanted it to be. I really could. Calm, for the most part, they are trainable. Like Jarvis, he's really well trained. He'll down, he'll stay, he'll do all kinds of stuff for me. He'll out on command, uh, a lot of stuff. But I trained him for Lester, the old man that owned him, and yep, a young old picture of Thor at the lake. That was cool. My
yeah, it's
cousin's
fun.
looking. My cousin's looking through a few pictures that's on my ex stepmom's page
That's
on
my mom.
Facebook.
My mom's.
Oh, that's your mom's
Yeah,
page?
she's
Oh,
been
that's why
watching
you're
stuff.
finding all these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we were looking for pictures of Zeus. It was his grandpa's dog. He was the son of Thor to Dixie.
Mm-hmm.
And he was brindle with a white head and two colored eyes.
On his ribs had a brindle patch.
Yeah, yeah. He was
And
brindle on his back and then a white head.
yeah,
Yeah. And he had two different colored eyes. Uh and he was a heavy termite dog to the Smith and Walton Bad Billy stuff too. So
get it from the
like
store. You know.
yeah.
But you had Panic, Dixie, and Thor, and I mean, Thor's mostly black, and then was it Panic that was white and black, and then Dixie that was all white?
No,
Basically?
the other way around.
Oh
Panic
shit!
and Dick.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
Panic was just like like he's a throwback to Havoc or to Panic.
I can't
Dalton's dog Crawford. Look him up on Facebook.
I can't remember a time in my life though that we didn't have dogs.
Yeah, the only picture I have of Panic that I own, you're in it with Panic.
I'm laying with it.
Standing next to the kennel.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that dog. Don't ever go near that.
and
dog.
then and then a couple of the only pictures I got of Dixie, you're in them too. You and Kathy, his sister.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like they were around us kids a lot. Like my parents didn't keep them away from us because the breed they were. No, we got to be around them just like some people grew up around golden retrievers. Like they stayed in the house with us.
And
Like
then I
they'd sit there and we'd eat and we wouldn't throw them no food and they'd just sit there and be patient.
hell, we'd grow out. They wouldn't care.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be
Yeah.
bad in there.
But, yeah, it's pretty wild.
I had the other end of it with my stepdad because the hunting dogs.
Yeah.
And those are just tools.
Yep.
The Tennessee Walkers and everything like that. But
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
and then when I was in the service, being around the
military dogs.
What are they? They're not German shepherds. They're
Malinois?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. Or Dutch Shepherd.
They could walk on a tightrope, dude.
Yeah. Malinois and Dutch Shepherds. The Dutch Shepherds are the really, really smart ones, and Malinois are pretty high, like bite dogs.
Their kennels, though, I guess, is a good comparison compared to yours. Theirs, I would compare to like a prison block. It was just concrete, and it would. Those dogs didn't need to be socialized. They had to be just a tool to use, just like a hunting dog. But
up here, it's more like
it's
kind of closer to a zoo because they got their own little enclosure that they're confident and safe in.
Zoo though.
No, because you can't just come up here and pet them.
I'd say it's more natural.
Yeah, it's more natural because they live like in the woods. Like a lot of them, they have barrels and they'll have straw and shavings in them even throughout the year. But they'll choose to sleep like down next to a tree like they would in the wild. I've noticed that since I moved up here, a lot of my dogs sleep outside more than they ever did at the other place. It's really weird.
I'd say them being on that hill too is good for them, their physique and just naturally being burning those calories off so they don't get fat and lazy. They can't
so my dogs were a little chubbier at the other house versus up here. I have to feed more food here. I will say that. I've noticed. Yeah, they're burning more off. I have less poop waste here, and I think it's because they're burning it off.
But they got more shade.
Yeah, that's also true too.
Middle of
the
lot, but
shade. Yeah, the shade here makes it totally different than the shade at the other house because I had to build their shade there. So I had everything from pieces of wood leaned up to where they could lay under it to tarps with landscape timber stretched out where the shade would cast over a big spot or chain spot.
Hmm.
I had one for each dog at one point in time. That's where all them landscape timbers come from. And I have tarps at Mammals. That's like I have like 20 tarps. Uh, Up here I don't have to use tarps because the trees provide a natural canopy.
Your dad built that wooden lot for the puppies and everything, right?
Yeah,
For when he'd breed them, he'd put the mama in there, and then it'd just be natural because it had that. It was that big box with the doghouse, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I was just
Big C,
because he did it pretty dang
Hemi,
legit.
RBG, Lone Wolf. Bunch of good people in here. Salute, brothers.
Listen, that's just ramble.
Yeah, Andre. I just talking about being around them. Like,
Oh, it's amazing, and I'll tell you. So, like, while I was down in Texas, when I was down there for about 6 years that I didn't get to be around the dog culture because it's not just you can't just oh man, I grew up around dogs and stuff. No,
yeah,
but they're tried and true as fuck down there with it.
yeah.
They are, and they like that. I don't even know. I guess it's the mastiff breeds, but the big man.
Molosser breeds.
Oh
Big,
yeah,
yeah.
they love them damn
Cane
dogs.
Corsos.
They would definitely Cane Corso. And I guess my dad's a good example because he's got the Cane Corsos and he breeds them.
Samurai.
Yeah, Zeus was a good one. Loki was a good one.
Oh, a super sticker. I see it. I don't want to butcher that name, but yeah, I see that. Salute. Uh, so yeah, like I mean, you know a bunch about dogs, but it's not necessarily pedigrees.
Oh no,
You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily like stuff that you've it's not stuff that you've researched as an adult and you've retained that information. It's stuff that you have from being a kid that and just being around it.
yeah,
Like that's unnaturally in your head. It's just
yeah. How to
self
be around them, how to
yeah,
treat them, how to raise them.
subconsciously you think about it like differently than other people.
Like
Like
if you had to give me a dog and you're like, hey,
yep,
do your best with it. It would probably come out. I wouldn't say as tight knit as yours is, but I'd say damn close
yeah.
to it.
Yeah, and I mean Big C.
I just hate because a good example of you could have the Mason and Loki. This is what I'm referencing. Like
Yeah.
Loki, unfortunately, how my papa was, he kept him inside and he didn't do
Yep.
none of this, and he was on a human diet and big old dog, good old dog,
Yeah.
not
Massive for me.
to what any of us on this live or that
Yeah.
actually knows dogs would consider a good dog. No,
Yeah.
he's lazy and all this other stuff, but he's Mason's brother.
And a lot of it's
You know,
just simply the difference in how they were raised.
yeah.
Like I kept Mason really lean and athletic from the time he turned a year old and I could really start working him till he was about 7. That dog stayed in good shape. Not he would get fatter in the wintertime, but he stayed in great shape. Like
I don't
not
think any of us would imagine Loki's get that tall though.
no, that
Because
was mind
he's
blowing.
tall
Yeah,
as hell. I
that was
think
mind
he's an
blowing.
inch and a half taller than any of the other dogs. And
Yeah, like he was noticeably bigger. Uh
but he had
oh,
Zeus.
Yukon. Okay.
He had Zeus habits because he was raised up with Zeus, and Zeus taught him how to be a good dog, which
Yeah.
taught him shit that Thor and naturally in that bloodline taught him. But
Well,
like after he'd use the bathroom, every single time he'd wipe his paws,
so
and then he'd wipe his paws going into the house on the mat. And Zeus taught him that. We didn't teach him that.
that's one thing throwback when we started talking about the dogs and stuff and I got to talking about Mason and having him at dad's. He was like, "Wait a minute." He said, "So Thor and Mason were alive at the same time?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Yes.
Learn how
And
from
and Mason lived next to Panic in a kennel for probably a year and a half, 2 years up there. And like she was too old for me to breed them, but if she wasn't, you're damn right we would have bred them together.
yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, my dad would have let me do that. Even back then, he knew what I my mindset about it.
Just like we was talking about before the live started, your dad had how many dogs at the same exact place you had your dogs?
Yeah, 14 at my mama's backyard. The pit bull alley is what I've always called it because it's long, skinny.
And it's
Yep.
been that way
I appreciate you, Big C.
guess what a decade?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
for 20 years.
so he lived there in 2003 till 2004.
Oh, that's 20 years.
2005. He lived there for because we had a litter in 2004 there, and that's when that's been
Did anyone who else out of the family did?
what bred dogs.
Hmm.
I mean, Chris, my cousin Chris, he had walkers. He's always bred his family
Well,
of
I know adjacent to your
true.
daddy, but I'm talking before your daddy.
Nobody. My dad was the first one to get into the
Really?
bulldog thing. Yeah, I don't even know. I would like to ask him. I don't even know what necessarily got him into the bulldogs.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, that's for sure.
yeah, I've never even asked him really. But no, my dad was because my papa he ain't never really wanted dogs. They had on his side they had a poodle and they had like another little dog or some sort, but they never even
Granny
really
had.
yeah they never even really had no dogs up there.
I'd ask him because with us, we all love him because we were
Because of dad
we were
and
born into it because
yeah,
yeah, because your dad.
yep.
So
So it is kind of I've never asked him that. I'll ask him. I might shoot a little video of me and him talking Saturday and just put in
that'd be
some of
great.
the yeah, put in some of his knowledge
Especially
and put
for
it on my channel.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is like
I'll I'll send a short to Big A here, and then I'll put the main video on my channel.
your origin story, I guess.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
where it started from him. I know his buddies and stuff were into him at the same time too. So it could have been like one of his friends, like throwback. He had almost got out of dogs because he didn't know that he didn't see no good dogs that he thought were worth buying.
oh hell,
Yeah, that's I mean he'll tell you that. So when we started talking and stuff, he was like, "Yeah, I want something off of Mason." And I'm like, "Well, for sure, you know." And he ended up getting Mary Jane and Carson or Mary Jane and Kaiser. Uh, he wanted Kaiser, and I told him if you get Kaiser, you got to take Mary Jane too, because they'll be a pair.
yeah.
They'll be a match made in heaven right there, and they would be still to this day. So, but uh, then he just got super, infatuated with it. So like we started going to these dog shows, got into it big. That's where
Your
that
dad went with you?
no, Daniel's the one that got me
Oh,
into.
okay.
I'll say that Throwback is the one that got me into going to these dog shows. He's the one that really we were like loaded up and go. You know what I mean? More than me just wanting to do it. Like we actually just load everything we've wanted to do. I'll say this: me and him have just loaded up and done it.
I tell you, man,
So
I met him what twice,
yeah, I believe so.
and for sure once. And when I met him, never knew him. I've been
Yep.
gone for a while, and years I've been gone. Just recently, really came back up here, but uh, he's just another good old boy.
Yeah.
And all his dogs that he'd bring, yeah, they're
Yeah.
dang sweet. And that's when you, I don't want to say early on because I don't really know the timeline too much, but
No, I was already in
compared to
about 5 years.
now,
Yeah.
but that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. We've gotten way more into the dog shows and stuff since the last 3 years. That's what I mean. Like before me and Throwback was going and traveling and doing things like that, I was just breeding my dogs, staying in my mindset, doing my own thing, working them out, mastering that part of it. Uh, which I'm excited for this here upcoming dog show.
Yep.
What's up, Welsh?
I'll be there.
Okay, somebody else. What surprised me is that the breed wasn't even well known until the late '70s and early '80s. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yo,
wasn't a
yo,
common
yo.
thing.
Hunting.
What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up, man? I didn't even get the
Just
notification. I just seen all this.
oh, well, you're in here
Well,
now.
welcome.
This is Welsh. This is my cousin,
Nice to meet you, Welsh.
Moon Industries.
Yeah. Moonlight
Moonlight
Okay,
Industries.
what's up? What's up?
or moon.
Yeah, we're just talking about dogs and stuff. Just you know, got a little bit of insight from my cousin here that he ain't like into the pedigrees and stuff, but he's been around everything from my dad's bulldogs to military dogs to
The hunt, the
to hunting
Tennessee
dogs.
Walkers and everything.
Yeah. So I was
Chihuahuas.
just I was just asking him questions, and he was bringing up topics about dogs from our childhood.
I just growing up in it,
Yeah.
like since because I was born '99, and Cody's, he's older than me, but since I was born, I remember being around these dogs.
So,
You got it playing on the TV or something, Wes?
nah, hold on. Let me.
I can hear myself really good through your mic.
Xbox Live, almost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, okay, so as far as this stuff goes, you will see just a little bit of technical difficulties, but like Dre and Big A, they're innovative. So like they're stepping in. They're the first men on the moon when it comes to some of this stuff. To me, that's the way I see it. I wouldn't know about StreamYard if it wasn't for Samurai.
It's such
I
a
mean,
great platform to stream.
yeah, he's. I mean, that's one thing I'll say. Like as far as this internet and stuff, Dre has schooled me up. Like he really has, and Big A too. I mean, he's dropped me some knowledge.
Yeah, we're gonna start making snack.
Like I salute both these brothers. These are like in 50 years, these are my brothers. You know what I mean? Ethan's my brother. Like all that. Like these are my people. You know what I mean? That I fool with. Welsh. Like we just got.
Will they be at the dog show? Any of them?
So I've met Big A and I've met Andre twice in person, but I met Big A at this South Bottom Dog Show in Louisiana.
Oh, really?
That was really cool. And JT. JT was cool
Yeah,
too.
you'd be right down the road from me. You'd
I gotta.
going to this dog show, and I could.
Well, hell,
I was
it's.
5 hours away in Houston, but I could have.
I don't know if is Houston 5 hours from New Iberia? Yeah.
Where exactly?
But
it butts up to Louisiana.
yeah, no. So like,
Divider and all that.
I got a good picture of Mason and Big A and JT and Samurai. Man, it's cool. That's a cool picture.
Well, especially when they see both of us together, they're like, "Yeah, y'all definitely ain't brothers."
When Mason passes away, it'll be really cool for them to have that picture with him. You know what I mean? To me, that'll be cool.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
can
still
hear.
echoing?
No, you're good now.
Okay, okay.
I'll be back.
Now I was reading Hemi James' comment.
What do you say?
He said, "What surprised me is that the breed wasn't even well known until the late '70s or '80s."
Yeah.
But this that goes back to the same discussion group elevated kennels.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure Vinny watching this. I don't know if Bad Bad is everybody else on this. You read what Hemi James said. This is the same discussion that we're having in the group. But I see not becoming dogs American Pit Bull Terriers because the box bred Staffordshire Terriers was still running the scene in the '70s and '80s. So if you go back on your page, it shows you the same thing. So that's why we having that same discussion. And a lot of people got the timeline mixed up and not trying to give the staff the credit
Well,
when
like,
all of the information is out there.
well, like, okay. So what? Let me ask you this question. Right? I have pit bull terriers. What's the qualifications to call them a staff instead? You know what I mean?
But
Like,
like
what
I
if?
said last night, if we go back and look at the regulations, like I said last night, if you start from the root, you had solid white dogs, you had solid black dogs, and you
Yep.
had brindle dogs. Those were the main three colors of box dogs. Staffordshire Terriers. Those were the main three coats. Yes, you got the ones with the white with the brown pat. All those came later on. The main, if you go back in these
Yep.
journals, magazines, pictures, Google is one of your friends. These dogs were solid black and they were solid white, and then you had the brindles. Over time, as time went past, even when you were still breeding these dogs, you could breed a solid this, and this is why I say the genetics was stronger back then, and that's why certain people are still having old school pattern bulldogs come out because if you breed a solid white dog to a solid black dog, and every time you do a breeding, you getting solid whites and you getting solid blacks, and you're not
Uh-huh.
getting black dogs with white markings. That's because the genetics was stronger back then. It wasn't inbred.
Mhm.
When you started doing all that inbreeding, that's when the color code started to change. And a lot of people cannot comprehend that.
Oh, okay. So
So,
I
so
bred Mason to Medusa, and she's a predominantly black dog, like not even no white on her. Then I got two that were kind of white patched, you know what I'm saying. But then I took Rogue and bred her back to Mason, and I got a bunch of white in my litter, like a bunch, like old school turn of the century looking dogs.
if you look at your blood also,
But it's
if you
inbred.
look at your stuff, yeah, but a lot of your stuff don't have today's stuff in it though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference. It doesn't have all of that. So that's what people fail to realize. People want to make their own rule and all. It don't work like that. And the sooner
Yep.
people get over that, everything will be fine. You ain't got to be your feelings because again, Hemi James. I'm gonna have to ask you too. But like I said, the dog well.
You cutting out just a little bit.
No, I'm saying
You was
it
cutting
was
out just a little
well
bit.
known.
You there, Supreme?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here, bro. Shit.
What's
I'm
up,
here.
dude?
Oh man, shit, I just
I
had
just
to do
want to
my
shout
road
you out
work
real
a
quick.
little. I had to do my road work a little early, man. I
Is
had
it
to put a
raining
little
where
man
you're
at the
at?
world. It was earlier, and I seen the chance to walk my dog, and I took it because I was feeling kind of upset and shit. So I went ahead and did my road work. Now I'm back at the crib now. Check and see what y'all on.
It's been raining here since 7 this morning.
Raining hard or just raining to the point where you don't want to
Last
be out
night.
there.
Enough to suck it. You cut out for a minute, Welsh. I think you're back now.
You hear me now?
Yeah, clear. You're good.
Are you talking?
Nope. He fell out as soon as he was clear.
Damn.
Yep.
You see Faith's comment?
No, I was about to read it. Is it on the YouTube or on this tab?
You can probably see it on the tab. It's right above Cry. Cry, what's happening, bro? Long Wolf, what's happening, baby? She said pit bulls was running the scene in the 70s, but the smart one still was working staff added into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
How far back actually goes.
Oh, a long time. It goes back. See, my cousin, he asked me, he said, how far back do a lot of these pedigrees go? I'm like, man, some people's pedigrees go back to like, I mean, some of them are 1860s
That's
to
crazy.
1880s, but they weren't written down. They were like, it wasn't a documented thing in America until in 1889 the UKC come out, and then 1909 the ADBA came out. So that's the two prominent registries for
Register
this.
their taxes or something.
No, just so that they could, so that they didn't have to send across the ocean to get their papers. It's probably why they started registering them here instead of just keep doing it.
I do
You
want to
know.
look up like regionally where the breeds are more prominent back in those early days, what's not, or if anyone would know,
So,
like you
what's your
talking Cali or
what's your
Carolina.
opinion? What's the best bloodline today compared to yesterday's dogs?
That's
Uh,
a good question.
I mean, everybody has their favorites, and everybody has different reasons for why they pick, the dog they're satisfied with. So like, there is no best to me. You know what I mean? You can either be one that likes the dogs you see, or you can be a person that goes based off of numbers. There is statistics to some of these dogs, so you could go
It's
based
gonna
off of
be
numbers.
it's gonna be more with the numbers though elevated
Yeah,
because if you mass producing and like I always say, and these guys get mad because of that, but there's a reason why we have competition sports.
yeah,
There's a reason for that. Everybody can't be the best. So 30 camps that's running the same dogs. How we gonna know who the best if all 30 of y'all claim y'all the best?
yeah.
So when people say about best bloodlines of today and yesterday or all of this, the only way you can really um, evaluate that
Hmm.
again, like you said, the second answer you said is numbers, percentages. So you would have to the only way you're gonna get that number, a hard fact number, is you have to deal with a smaller family of dogs because again, too many people got the same dogs and all of them
So,
claim they have the best ones.
if you was to put a number on how many individuals it would take to be a small family of dogs, what's a number on that? Like what, like like 20, 30, 40 dogs considered a small family, or is it like bigger than that? Or could it be smaller than that and still be considered a small family of dogs?
I would say at least 30 because you
Yeah.
got to think of the size of the litters.
Yep.
So I would say it would have to be at least 30 as far as dogs, because if you average, let's say you average, let's say you start over and you building up another program, and you average 5 puppies a litter. All five of each litter, you might be guaranteed two 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 excellent ones out of all of the litter. So it's going to take time to build that family to where you got the family at a point to where you can actually put a percentage on it. To give you a better example, you got you got uh you got Frisco Chinaman, you got Dynamite. So from Frisco Chinaman Dynamite, you can almost put an exact percentage of the offsprings around them three alone. And that's not including the females. I'm
Yep.
just giving you a quick example. So when people talk about percentages, most of these people that talk about these are the top dogs, they still basing that off of a dog in the 8th generation.
Yeah.
So
Instead of
when
close
people
up
ask that question,
individuals representing
Damn, the eighth
yeah.
generation,
So
dog.
it.
Supreme.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to a lot of what these people say, just like the other day, most people it had successful dogs in the first through the 3rd generation, but yet these people are still calling the dogs by the dogs in the 8th,
Yeah.
in the 6th.
So
So
That's
the
that's
it's
selling
it,
that's
factor
the
is
it,
thing.
Mayday, not
it's too much favoritism. You
yeah.
have to ask these questions to a person that's going to tell you the truth. I have a favorite, but I talk about other dogs because I'm not that type of person. I judge things off of my eyes, not because of favoritism. But a lot of people go past the successful dogs that's in the front and still go back to the 6th, 7th, 8th generation.
Yep. Did you see what Big C said, Well?
He said no best with what driving the shit catches your eye. Good dogs are where you find. Yeah, of course. That's common sense. Good dogs are where you find them. But remember, good dogs don't always end up with good people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dogs that's supposed to be on the ROM, POI, and a lot of other things, but they ended up with bad camps, with bad owners. There's a whole lot of dogs that's supposed to be on certain lists, but the dogs never got a chance to make it because of the
Yeah.
owner.
And some of
So,
that could be they just didn't do the logistics to that its whole career well. Anything. They didn't represent their client well, basically is the way you could put it. They're almost like we're
I,
almost like people's almost like their manager. You control to some extent the way their career goes, whether it's a breeding career, working career, you know what I mean? And if you're lazy, then it'll show in your dog's career for sure.
oh hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. He said I never bred a dog because of their papers. Well, you this the thing. This the thing. A lot of people got to stop getting caught up on this paper thing. The
Yeah.
papers is just showing you how the dog is bred. The papers
Yep.
don't do nothing. People got to get over that shit. Like the papers don't do nothing. The papers don't do nothing. It's just a roadmap.
Yep.
That's all it is. The papers do not mean nothing. It's just a roadmap. People give papers too much power, and the shit is crazy. All it does is give you a roadmap. Me personally, I want my papers. You know why? Because I'm leaving this shit for my kids and grandkids.
Yep.
The papers ain't doing nothing. The papers don't do shit.
Like
You
a
know,
good
people got to get
example is
off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You breed in performance.
as an individual.
Well, so
Performance.
so my cousin just said something. So what's funny is all these people are so picky on pedigrees, but then they can't tell you who their great grandpa is.
Exactly. Or how long.
Exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like,
And I
come
and I
on,
and I
man.
and I always say that. I always
Yeah.
say that.
Like,
That's
But
why it's important.
people just got to get over that, man. People only
yeah,
got they just got to get over it. They got to get over that whole
it's
paper
nothing
thing, bro.
but it's
That
nothing but a genetic roadmap and proof of ownership. Other than that, I
that's
mean,
all it is.
you're breeding
That's
on
all it is.
romanticized stories and hopes and dreams.
Most of the people that keep talking all this paperwork, I'm pretty sure they got birth certificates. So
Yeah,
it just confused the hell out of me why they focus so much on this paperwork.
Yeah.
The
And
paperwork
when
not outside barking. You ain't got to feed the paperwork. The paperwork
well,
ain't doing nothing but sitting in your closet.
and then people go out and have kids with a girl and not know none of her family, and then be like, okay, paper's important. You got to know what you're breeding to. Well, yeah, hell, you didn't even know what you was breeding to. You know what I mean? Like
But that's
their family,
yeah, yeah,
their
yeah.
family could be chalked. That woman's family could be chalked up with a bunch of genetic disorders, but you went after the fact that she was pretty. So you know what I mean? Like we're pick. Sometimes my point is these men are pickier with their dogs than they are themselves, and that is like wild to me. That's wild.
That's like that priorities man when you see dude out there with the 12 pit bulls, but it's when you
Hey,
looking at them, they looking real good, but the draw, but he got on some draws with some holes in them, and it
yeah.
say priorities above it.
Yep. My cousin said, "Quit looking at me when you say that."
He
What
talking
he
straight.
say?
He talking straight to me with that shit.
Hey,
Straight.
hey,
Goddamn, dude.
I be out there with some sweatpants with some cut off socks. Goddamn. Hey, listen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, like some of it, like I don't know, like people
Like a
be on
double
different
edged
levels,
sword.
and then see, like, okay, so here's an example, brother Big C, dude. He can be picky with his dogs because his life is awesome. Like I met his family, you know what I mean? His wife was an awesome person. His kid was awesome. Like he's awesome, you know what I mean? So like he can be a little more picky about things, and I understand where he's coming from. Like that's one thing. The beauty of meeting somebody, I'll say it 100,000 times on these lives. That's the beauty of meeting somebody versus just having your impression of them on the internet.
Right.
Like like one day, me and you'll meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It ain't a
Especially if
side.
you especially if you coming out here to Illinois, shit.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
And I
yeah. I'm
plan
hit
to.
you up on yeah, I'm hit you up on IG when we do
All
done.
right, bro. Yeah, for sure. I plan to. I mean, I want to come get this female, and she is pretty.
Is that your old family?
So she's a little bit of she's the Colby stuff pretty tight to some Budweiser Crusher Sorrel stuff. So it lines up with everything I got.
Mm. It's like
You
down
like?
there.
Oh, hey, so she like the cut. Why do you like the cover crosses?
uh, I don't know. I've always liked what I seen out of Carver dogs, and I never. So like when I was younger and I was researching, I'm like, man, why is everybody so high on these Carver dogs? Like I kept thinking that, right? And then the older I get, the more I realize I like Carver dogs.
I mean,
I don't know
they
why. I've
they
seen I've seen them work consistently in our area. Specifically, Old Family Red Nose cross to the Carver stuff. Specifically that, huh? Yeah. No.
It was that something else. I can't say.
No. But so damn.
I don't.
It's just interesting because like I've seen a lot of them type of dogs, and that's how they. That's just I don't know. That's just they look the way they're supposed to look. A lot of them act the way they're supposed to act. Like I've
but
just
see
seen I don't know.
but see that's the thing. And then like me, okay, like last night, if you go back in the group elevated and see what me and Hart Finish was talking about when I
Yeah.
asked him if a pit bull has 1/4 American bulldog in it, or if it has American bull, if and
Can you hear me? Every time he
pit
gets
bull
to cook,
actually,
every time he gets to cooking so good, dude, it cuts out every time.
Say something, girl. Say
That's
something.
about my luck too. Yeah, so he said Maurice Carver was the best dog breeder of his time coming from Madison, which is Madison Parker from Bulletproof Kennels. So That I mean that is true. I've heard a lot of people say that. Like just because he lied, that don't take away from what he was producing. You know what I mean? Like he was still producing bulldogs, and a lot of the people don't understand. If you would go and get a dog for Maurice Carver, you didn't care what that pedigree said. It was for Maurice Carver, and that's all that mattered. Like, cause he wasn't selling you nothing. It was, from my understanding, it was, just shit. So, like, there's certain people like Elevated said, there's consistency. I can have a dog, I can hunt, but at the end of the day, also want uh the smoke if he had the opportunity. Yeah, I mean, consistency is important. Like they should be able to do lots of things, but I don't know. That's one thing That's why I like them old family red nose or Bolio Carver crosses. I mean, just heavy. It's the Klaus to Carver stuff. It was already that type of cross. Like it's just been something that's repeated through time. Like, and I've seen it be successful, and I still get the very similar, the same type of dogs today out of doing them same crosses. You know what I mean? Nothing's changed. And so it's kind of a subconscious liking for them dogs. Like I said, like I don't know. I like everyone I've ever seen. I like it, and I'm like, dang. So I actually like Carver dogs too. So. And when I was young, I was just like, man, why is everybody so high on this Carver guy? Because as I done more research, I'm like, okay, so like this guy was the shit. That's why. Yeah. As far as producing good dogs, he did lie about a lot of papers. Like I will say that, and he is known to have lied about a lot of papers. But at the same time, like I don't really care what a piece of paper says. I want a damn good dog, and so that's more my motivation. I would have been fine with going to get a dog from Carver and not know how it was really bred, and I probably could have bred it and still produced some good dogs, and not knowing how it was bred. Welsh, Welsh dropped out, and Supreme in there working that dog.
Yeah, I'm still here, bro. I'm listening to what you're saying. I was talking to my old lady, telling her what I seen on the trail today. I seen the weirdest shit on the trail today, bro. I seen like a group of motherfuckers come out the trees. When I say a group of motherfuckers, I mean a group. And this
Uh-huh.
wasn't the trail part of the trees either. They said they all said what's up, but with the direction they came out, it was like behind fans. They turned around and got to get real aggressive.
Huh.
Like, well, like where the fuck y'all come from?
Yeah. Huh.
You see that
Interesting.
TV, girl.
See, that's why I'm more sketched out about going places and stuff too. Like when you disappear up here, they usually find you dead. You know what I
Or
mean?
they
Like,
don't find it.
or they don't find you at all. So that's your two options up here. They either find you dead or they you don't. If you go missing,
If you go missing in a hiking trail up here,
yeah,
it's gonna take at least a fucking week for
yeah.
them to get up to the point they could find you with the manpower.
My mom's school back in the late '90s, they took all the kids
Right.
on a field trip, and they were hiking. Well, some of the kids got lost. They found them all the way in Tennessee, like earlier that next morning. They just kept walking. They was
So
all the
they
way in
walked all the way to
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm about 35 minutes from Tennessee
Yeah,
in a
they're
car.
on state line. Yeah.
See now,
Yeah.
look, they took us to the aquarium,
Uh
and
huh.
me and my best friend got lost. And when I got home, my grandma put that belt to my
Oh, I yeah. Victory switch, yeah.
Yeah. So which aquarium was it?
the Chicago Aquarium.
Oh Lord. Okay. Yeah. She said, "No, my
Yeah,
grand he done ran off and done some
the
stupid stuff
school,
in
the school
Chicago."
told on me. The school
Oh
told on me. I'm like,
man,
what? Yeah, it was a field trip, and me and my best friend, it was like we were starstruck by the penguins. I don't know, we
did you
couldn't
actually
move.
get lost or did you just disappear?
We just fell behind, and we had to
Okay,
catch up. Or I think the kids had to come back. And a teacher came back like, "What y'all doing?" We got left behind. We ain't walk off, but I still got belts of ass.
damn.
Yeah,
Yep. See, that's another thing too. They don't realize some of these old schoolers are a little bit. I mean, how old are you? Like around at your age?
35,
Huh?
35.
Okay, so yeah, you dealt with the tail end of some of them hardcore, right?
Oh hell yeah!
Yep.
I
So
had
like
to,
Zippy.
I had to,
Yep.
I had to motherfucker. See, my grandma was born in Midnight, Mississippi.
Okay. I've been through there.
Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love that I love that two people can be so different, right? You know, but then we go to talking about things and there's similarities in everybody's lives. That's one thing I don't think
bro.
people on the internet realize about each other.
Oh, it's on
Bro,
different.
we could be totally different, and just the us having these dogs in common, and then the
Yep.
level of passion on top of it.
Yep.
You get to trade in some of your old friends that ain't really worth a fuck.
Well, that's in the military. It's such a melting pot of
Hey,
people from all over and just different backgrounds, and you become best friends with them. Polar opposites, nothing in common, but still best friends. Though
so
it's crazy for me to find that
you
out.
remember all my friends in high school, right?
Yeah.
Who do I talk to more than anybody of them? The
Uh,
my dog friends that I made on the internet, right?
oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a friend group of I think I could
There's like 12
up
of them.
to there's 16
Yeah, a bunch of them.
at a point, and then all of them.
Just yep, we all go different ways. I
We're
mean,
family,
yeah,
so
some
he
of
can't get rid of me
it.
sadly, but he tried for a little bit, but came back. So
Yeah, them.
I guess we're a good example too. I mean, we grew up together, but polar opposites.
Yeah, been. I mean, me and my brother, we're same genetics, literally, like, but we're totally different in ways. But then we're a lot alike in other ways. Like
Yeah.
we're a lot like our dad, and then we're a lot like our mom sometimes.
Coda's the dog one
Yeah,
as far as the brothers, and his brother can build a small block Chevy
yeah,
to the max and save you a penny too. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's great.
Yep. But I don't know. It's just so many. Like I want to get my brother on here and get him to talk about some of the dogs and stuff too. One day when
We'll
he's
get
here,
pictures.
I might take a little video of me and Hunter and me and Dad, and get one of me and Mom, and like just start posting some of them little clips of them talking about the dogs I had when we were kids. They remember a lot. My mom remembers a whole bunch. I
I
mean,
asked Alicia for pictures of the dogs
yeah, Alicia's probably not got much of nothing.
and her phones or stuff.
Yeah,
She
maybe.
sells all the passwords to those
Yeah,
Facebook. Crazy. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. So like. I love how she does that while she's working. I'm over it, good. My female Eleanor, she makes that noise too.
Yeah, I like that shit, so I ain't gonna lie. You put the camera on me.
My mom's dog Marley, man, she sounds like the devil when you're working her. She sounds evil. She's older now, but
You could talk about.
I wish they had started this. I wish we could have got this internet stuff going about 10 years ago, because Mason and Molly would have been in their prime for all this.
Man, you let your dogs do the tug of war?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
What
a
you
rope.
use? You got a
I
rope?
got. Yeah, I don't put a spring or nothing in it. Let them tug of war with each other. But they're all about 2.5, 3 feet from each other. So, like I said, you won't walk through my dog yard, because if you're not in one chain, you're in another. So, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's no outside.
yeah. You got to be, and there ain't no like walking paths neither. Like you can't tell where to walk. So, that's on purpose.
Just walk to the left. Don't walk to the right.
No,
Yeah.
man. That's enough for the day, girl. Yeah, so goddamn it,
So
walk
from
this
Midnight,
mile.
Mississippi to west side of Chicago, we might be cousins. RBG Lone Wolf said.
Come on, girl. We done.
he was
He
saying
said,
y'all
yeah,
might
we
be
might be.
cousins.
Hey, we might be, man. Never. Come on, girl.
Hey, I tell you what, some people's a lot more related than they know they are.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, man.
Careful,
My
baby.
mom used to have me. Every time I get a girlfriend, my mom be like, "All right, find out who her family is. Make sure
Yeah,
she
yeah,
related
It's the
to
yeah,
it."
same thing,
yeah.
I be
dude.
like,
It's the same thing.
I be
Who's her
like,
family?
"Mama,
Oh, you said that name? Hold on, hold on. Your
Yeah,
cousin was that.
yeah. Your cousin was married
What?
to a so and so. That's how it always is.
Well, Mama, it's too late.
Yeah.
everybody got that one weird family member that'll fuck their own cousin."
Oh yeah,
Come on.
my cousin had babies with his cousin John and Serena.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah.
cousins.
Yeah, but they didn't know it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, hell. We coming up close to the end. I don't
Oh
see
yeah,
Big A. I
yeah.
don't see Big A up in here. He putting in the work. He putting in the work
Big
back
A
there.
did that. He probably
It is awesome to see your progression.
Yeah, yeah.
God come and leave for a few years and come back and leave for a few years. And,
Yeah, he come back a couple times, and as he come back, hell, it's bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, I didn't, like I said, I didn't have the intention of that. It just kind of grew naturally, organically to that. I got to where I want to keep these dogs,
you
like,
straight up said you never really wanted to. You said I don't
yeah.
know, and then a
Well, I
few
mean, I
years now
realized how much
doing
work.
it.
I mean, I already knew how much. Like a lot of people gets in these dogs, and they're like, "Oh, surprise! They have to do this much work and stuff." I grew up doing this much work, so like, it took me a little while to be like, "Yeah, I want to step it up." You know what I mean? Because I knew how much work it would be.
You stepped
But
it
now, I mean, it's not. I've gotten so used to doing that work again. It's not even a big deal. You know what I mean? I just stay busy.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's
yesterday, he was like, "Dan," my cousin was like, "I need an energy drink. I don't know how the hell you stay moving all the time." I'm like, I
that,
do.
yeah.
I don't know."
Absolutely.
yeah, I got that shit. I didn't
Something's
hear that from my mama.
Yep.
I call my mama, ask what she doing. It'd be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, 95 degrees in
Your
Memphis. She
mom had
outside
dogs
cutting
too, right?
grass. Yeah, she the one that she introduced me to these
Yeah.
wonderful bundles of love.
Yeah. See, that's cool. My mom had dogs, so like I have a different kind of love for them in a way because of that. How I got introduced to them from my mom's side, and then I have a
Yeah,
different love for them because of the way my dad handled them and stuff. So like, I see a little bit of both sides. That's why I'm not so strict and stuff as much a lot of other people. I mean, I'm strict. Like I
yeah,
have my ways, but other than that, no. I mean, I don't expect too much out of them.
like I remember being young and you're wanting to pet the dog shit like that,
Yeah,
and you're like, you don't go, no, yeah,
yeah,
but it's a dog, no, you
yeah.
don't, and then you go to Kim's or your
And
mama's,
then
and
we
it's
could just love them.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
they were just around. I
you
don't know. It's
just
cool. It was different worlds. Even though like and so my dad lived out in the country. Like, dude, it was a small trailer in the country, right? Yeah, it was awesome. So like we were wild out there. And then my mom and my stepdad lived in the city. So like we had a
equally as
different
awesome.
yeah, it was equally as awesome but different. And so I had a little bit of both. So
Had a
like
garage filled with bikes,
yeah, garage filled with dirt bikes and shit. We take you know what I mean? Like
not to mention the hot rod aspect of
it was just different, yeah. I don't
see,
know.
I had that shit. I had that shit in Memphis. I grew up in Chicago, but every summer I go down to Memphis and spend that whole summer in Memphis, and then end up doing some high school years in Memphis too. But yeah, it's definitely a more fun or experience being down in the country on dirt
Yep.
bikes
oh
going
yeah,
up hills and shit.
Yep.
man, my great grandma raised me, and then my aunt was with his dad forever, and I'd beg my granny let me go to my aunt's. Like let me go up there. We'd be in the woods, literally just
Yep.
all day
Four
until
wheeling.
even after it was dark, four wheeling, and
Mhm.
Coda be on his dirt bike,
Yep.
and then it's just that the whole life, but then always dogs,
Yeah.
always go feed because I mean we're free labor. You have kids for a reason, so
Hmm.
From the time
no,
how old do you think you were youngest you were that you remember going out and feeding the dogs
and
with?
splitting wood and everything.
Yeah.
6,
6, yeah, because
6,
okay, so I was 8.
yeah, because you're
Yeah,
2 years
so
older than I am.
so
Yeah.
that when he was 6, I went out when I was 7. I remember that. So I did it a little while before Hunter went out, and so like from the time we was 6 and 8, like we was splitting wood because that's all we had was a wood stove. So you split
Yep.
wood or you froze to death, one or two.
Oh, we
I
split
mean,
wood.
yeah. So we split
We
wood,
split wood.
and shit, like we'd drink. I don't know. It was country living out there, and I mean that's why I love this property that I moved to so much. It's because it's country living here too, and I love it. Like my dogs can actually be dogs. I can let them bark. I don't care. You know what I mean? They're well taken care of. The dog pound knows that. They're welcome to come through anytime, and they know that. Like I ain't got shit to hide.
Well, it was great though.
LaQuentin said, "Elevated. I love a gumbo hound, scatterbred."
Gumbo, huh?
Yeah, like I like that term. I ain't never heard that before. Yep. But yeah, we coming up to the end. If you want to do your shout outs, Supreme.
Oh man, shit, you know
I
what
don't
it
want to
is.
go over.
It's the month of May. We all know what's happening this month.
Yes, sir. We
So,
going we putting pressure in molding diamonds this month, ain't we?
man, look, any 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 frustration and anger, put it into your keep
Yep.
and show us them dogs.
Yep.
Man. Yes,
Big
sir.
A.
Hey, you know what it is. I'm in the background working, man. I've been trying to see how I can share the screen and do all that other stuff, man. So I've been working on some action.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in the background, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, man. But you know what it
Man, that work
is?
coming up.
Yeah. Tomorrow is a special day, man. Out of all days, man, starting the month off, man, first through the fifth. You know what it is, man. We got that digital dog show coming up at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. That's right,
Hey.
9:30 a.m. tomorrow. What's up?
So I didn't enter any dogs in it this month because I'm working
Mm-hmm.
some. Is it cool if
Uh-huh.
I jump in and do some narrating with y'all?
I don't see
You
why
can talk.
not.
You can talk to Dre
Uh,
about it.
yeah. I don't see why not. What you call it?
You'll fall off.
Um, you shoot.
Big
I mean, I'm surprised
yeah.
you missed out on dog of the week.
Ah, damn,
You
bro.
know?
I get up early every morning, take my daughter to school. I passed out. I'm gonna catch this
Yeah.
one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
I
bet
was
I'm
asleep
surprised. I'm
Mm.
surprised you didn't enter your dog into dog of the week.
this month or this week.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is one thing I could see Elevator doing. Elevator cleaning up because Elevator
Go
gonna stay
ahead.
consistent. It's like boys out here throwing them
Yeah,
haymakers.
man.
Bow, bow. Elevator just throwing these jabs. Boop, 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 boop,
Yep.
boop, boop, and steady winning.
You get
So
you get further with jabs than
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, definitely.
I think at the end of the year, if you consistently stick with this
What's today?
dog of the
Second.
week,
Yeah.
man, you might have the most wins.
Huh.
You
Interesting.
ain't think about it like that,
Interesting.
huh? Might
Nah.
have to get you a belt. Might have to
Yeah.
get you the
That's
belt
what
for
I'm not a
that
fan
one.
of the same.
Yeah. Just give me a belt buckle. I'll wear it.
Nah, not the
I
belt
need like
buckle.
10
I'm talking
pieces,
about the
so I got one.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
WWE.
That would be cool. Yeah, I
You
get what you're
know
saying
what I'm saying?
now.
that'd be
One to
That'd be
hang on the
sweet.
wall.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
man. But
I'll I'll put it on my shoulder and talk
Show up
smack.
to the shows with it. What up?
yeah, man. Yeah,
My
but
coworker said shoot
at
their
the
ass.
end of the day,
So,
man, you know what it is, man. Next you guys can start putting your
2020.
your shots in for dog of the week next week now. You can
Okay.
start putting your you can start submitting your videos for
Start taking
the
some
digital
pictures.
dog show for May now. And speaking
Yeah.
of the digital dog show for May, we got over $600 in cash prizes for all the winners. That'll be divvied out, for all the winners. It's not one winner gets 600, and that's including the call outs. So you got to be there for that one. And you might, if you go ahead and get up off your ass, you might be able to get some cash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just
Be
saying.
amazing.
All I heard was ching ching dog food. Ching ching dog food.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man. Because at the end of the day, you sitting on the couch and you already working your dogs. You already doing this, and you got some fire on your yard. You got some good looking dogs, man. Hey, you can get paid for it without having to get in your car, waste the gas money to go to the show. Salute to going to the show though, because
Yeah.
there's no type of connecting like that. But in the meantime, in between time, you can save you some gas money. Hell, you could win this show and that be your funds to go to the next show.
Well, like
Physics
this
show.
is
You know what I'm
this
saying?
is just
Good hotel.
people needs to accept it. This is just a part of the show scene now. This
Well,
is the show scene. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I mean, as far as online, man, yeah,
Yeah.
but like I say, man, when you tally up the expenses, you win more money by winning here at the Digital Dog Show than you do in person.
Yep.
But this is just to go along with, think about it like this. If you already prepping to go to a show in person and a Digital Dog Show coming up, you can get involved in the Digital Dog Show for free Mind you, you get involved for free. You can get involved in a digital dog show. Test your skills. See what the public say about your dog before you go head out the door to go down to the show and get judged by judges in person. Yep. Not only that, if you got something under your feet, man, you might as well collect some change while you at it. And your dog is gonna get recognized worldwide, because everybody gonna see it, and we are gonna recognize it, and we are gonna praise it, and give it the salute, and we are gonna give it the shine that it needs, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. That's what it is. But coming up next, we got Men at Work. Yeah. Oh, Pimps is here today, man. He's showing up today. I made sure he's showing up today. He can't be ducking out, dodging. We gonna get this bread, man. We gonna get this money, man. We gonna go ahead and make it happen for all y'all that's clocked in that work.
Did you see Hemi James's comment?
So we can feed these dogs.
Just talking.
Everybody, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, bro. What you about to say?
No, I was just saying him just predicting the future like the Samson.
Yeah. Scheme, plot. Somebody coming for that number one spot, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, man. But y'all know what it is, man. Let's go ahead and get ready to get up and out of this bad boy, man. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Man at work.
Yeah, Men at Work coming up next, man. Men at Work, bro.
You can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You know the deal.
Yes, sir. What about you, Supreme?
Oh, he's out.
Okay.
He said catch him outside.
Yeah, what he said. All right, we out.
Yeah. Ain't no trophies for slacking around here. Either you bail or you bolt. Shogun on me. Play Hilton in the yard. Bled for the yard. Built in the yard. Sweat in the scars. Chain pull heavy, we ready for war. Dog of the week, digital dreams. Condition, committed, straight from the team. Holding no lungs. Chain link singing when the nightfall drop. Slap mill buzzing like the bass in the block. Flirt pole whipping, heart rate ticking. Sun beat down, but my dog still itching. Yeah, no shortcuts, no handouts, no slack. We the ones turn dirt in the legends on the map. Pull that chain till the paws get raw. Dog of the week, gotta iron that jaw. Training through rain, grinding the pain. Digital show coming, gotta lock that lane. Bloodline heavy, but the work gotta match. One false move, your whole name gets snatched. Facts. Built in the yard, sweat in the scars. Chain pull heavy, we ready for war. Dog of the week, digital dreams. Condition, committed, straight from the team. Early morning runs, late night sprints. No TikTok clout, just real footprints. Line them up strong, see who really built. Under them bright lights, all truth gets spilled. Talk real cheap, iron drag heavy. If your heart ain't ready, then your bones get buried. We raise them hard, we mold them fast. Flirt pole dance like a cargo pass. Grind for the title, sweat for the throne. Digital show calling, better bring that home. No bark in the yard, just bite in the chain. Get your weight up, boy, this that Shogun name.